Okay, guys, so let's have a look at this. It says the easiest way to get into a parking space, un cajón de estacionamiento, is by into it. So it would be reversing. Yeah. Obviously, by is a preposition, so we need to use ing. By reversing into it, no, echándose en reversa, metiéndose de reversa al cajón. Okay, so families with young children are invited to board, yeah, abordar, okay? So reverse and board, they're gone. So les van a dar prioridad a las familias, okay? Board. Okay, don't ever the vehicle in front unless you know it's absolutely safe, yeah? Eso sería nunca vayas a rebasar, que es overtake, okay? The something of our family car is so tiny, yeah? The boot, la cajuela. En Estados Unidos le dicen trunk, pero en inglés británico es la cajuela es boot, como bota, ¿no? All right. That we have bought a luggage rack for the roof. A luggage rack son como esos muebles, no sé si se llaman así, que se ponen en el techo del auto, ¿no? Por fuera, y ahí puedes cargar tus maletas y le amarras, obviamente. Okay. What typically happens at busy intersections, cruces, intersections, is that smaller vehicles le ceden el paso a, give way to, ceder el paso a, all right? A los autos más grandes, okay? So anyway, let's move on. So nowadays, nearly hotel in the world has an online booking system. So I would choose, in this case, nearly every, casi todos los hoteles. Nearly each hotel, it sounds a bit strange, to be honest, okay? The cab, el taxi, never showed up, nunca llegó. So we ended up walking the whole way home. Todo el camino a casa, lo caminamos. Plans have been announced to extend the city's metro and construct 7 stations. It would be another 7 stations. Otras 7 estaciones, okay? When planning a journey, I choose mode of transport cost least, whatever, el que sea que cueste menos, whatever mode of transport cost least. O sea, si es más barato el tren, el tren. Si es más barato el avión, okay? The City Transport Authority owns of buses. Nunca decimos enough of buses, pero plenty of, sí se dice, okay? All right, well, that's that job done then. Let's move on and see if we can do the next one. 2 seconds. So, all right. It says here, choose the correct option to complete the answers. It was easily the filthiest, yeah, el más asqueroso. Yeah, fue fácilmente, like he's easily the best. Yeah, she's easily the most beautiful. He is easily the fastest. Yeah, his driving skills are absolutely es extremo. Entonces va con awful, que también es extremo. Awful, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has an accident. Vegetarian food can be considerably more nutritious. Considerably, back on comparative. Considerably better, considerably older, considerably newer, considerably more comfortable, considerably more expensive, considerably more nutritious. Okay. Y good no es comparative, entonces no va con considerably. Okay. I'd say that Janine is by far, por mucho, the most outgoing. By far, va con superlative, by far the best, by far the oldest. Es el más viejo por mucho, okay? In some countries, putting your feet on the table is considered extremely antisocial, extremely unacceptable. No me gusta, because extremely is like a degree modifier, and unacceptable is a non-gradable adjective. That's what we talked about in class, right? So let's have a look here. Read Alice's travel plans and add the missing prepositions. O sea, faltan preposiciones, hay que leer el texto y agregar las preposiciones que falten, ¿vale? Okay, so I've always wanted to take a year out, yeah, como que un año de sabático, when I finish school. Terminando la escuela, quiero dar un año de descanso. But for a while, I was in two minds. In two minds, como que indeciso. ¿Qué hago? ¿Hago esto o hago lo otro? About whether to spend it working or traveling. Fine. So I've opted for the best both worlds. The best of both worlds. Todo está bien hasta ahora. The plan is to start by working to save up some money and then spend a couple of months the road. Aquí falta una palabra. A couple of months the road. Lo correcto sería a couple of months on the road. Okay? A couple of months on the road. Okay? So it has to be that way round. De esta forma. Of course, account of the cost. Sería on account of the cost. A causa de. ¿Ya? O sea, primero tienes que ahorrar y luego viajar. No puedes viajar y luego ahorrar. Pues eso no tiene sentido. Yeah, so that way around, on account of, a causa del costo of the trip. People with language skills like me are very much demand in the world. In demand, ¿no? O sea, la gente con habilidades lingüísticas es muy buscada, in demand, in the workforce in my hometown, apparently. So I'm reasonably hopeful I should get a job no time. So aquí falta una palabra que sería get a job in no time, en tiempo récord, o sea, encontrar un trabajo en cuestión de nada de tiempo. Okay, so let's move on. When my dad, 2 seconds. So when my dad was my age, he drove across the US from East Coast to West Coast, from the US from East Coast to West Coast. I'm going for a very similar itinerary, except that I'm doing the trip reverse. Aquí falta una palabra y es in reverse, ¿no? O sea, él fue de east a west y aquí la persona va a ir de west a east, okay? Starting in LA and heading for New York, okay? Dad was only 18 and didn't think it was a big deal the time. Yeah, aquí sería a big deal at the time. Y en ese momento no lo consideraba una, pues, como big deal, ¿no? No es algo muy importante que digamos. But contrast sería but in contrast. In contrast. In contrasting, my trip's like the biggest deal ever for him and mum. O sea, cuando él lo hizo no era la gran cosa, ahora que lo hago yo, mis papás piensan que es como que el fin del mundo, ¿no? Though I guess it's sweet, ¿no? O sea, como que qué tiernos que estén preocupados por mí. There's no way I do the trip on my own, so I'll have my 2 besties, my 2 best friends, pues, Chanel and Poppy, company. Aquí sería tener a estas 2 personas for company, ¿no? Me van a como que keep company, for company. And we're not driving like my dad did. No vamos en auto. Instead, accordance with, falta una palabra aquí, que sería in accordance with, de acuerdo con. With his suggestion, we're taking trains. We'll be visiting cities the most part. Aquí falta una palabra, que sería visiting cities for the most part. ¿No? La mayor parte del tiempo en cities, like Denver and Chicago. But times we'll probably get off the beaten track. I would say, but at times, pero a veces, at times, we'll probably get off the beaten track, salirnos de del camino muy recorrido. El beaten track es el camino que usan todos, ¿no? And head out into some of the national parks, ¿no? Y meternos a los parques nacionales. We're so excited. It's going to be this absolutely amazing journey. Literally, of course. And also terms of. Aquí falta una palabra que sería la de in terms of, en términos de, being completely independent for the first time. Okay? Well, I hope that information was useful, guys. Thanks a lot.